Yellow. Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar was one of the craziest performances ever. Max, he straight up went Ultra Instinct and put on a clinic on Calvin. It was another level of flow, like he was truly playing a video game but in real life. That's what Max looked like. A video game character operating with video game physics but in the real world. He just didn't get tired. It was sheer volume with somehow not losing any of that technical finesse. And we saw so many faces in that octagon as well. Daniel Cormier, he said Max Holloway looked like Muhammad Ali, which is something we all felt for some reason.
Muhammad Ali put a little bit of spirit in me or something. I don't know. Muhammad, that was a little bit Muhammad right there, so.
Slipping, moving, weaving, popping out his jab as he stepped towards the center line, all like Ali. But you'd see him time his spinning back kick on the half beat like Sean O'Malley. You'd see him throw a head kick like TJ Dillashaw, then throw a cartwheel kick like Sanchai right after. It was a clinic formed of vast experience. His reaction time was that of an elite gamer, where the speed at which he'd make decisions had him look like Demetrius Johnson, but he didn't lose his playfulness. With trash talk and provocation, this fight, Max wasn't lulling Calvin with that Miyamoto Musashi-like philosophy. His intentions weren't hidden. He was wide-eyed. He was putting all of his soul out there for the world to see, and straight up, it was relentless. He was a gamer, focused, all of his neurons firing on all cylinders as he flowed clutch right along the edge of danger. It was beautiful. Like a Korean gamer treading a fine line, it was masterful, putting it on his opponents with the smug air of, there are levels to this. That's what we saw. Levels. That's what Max is so very good at. If you ever begin to question him for a second, he comes right back, showing you the level of greatness he's truly at. Truly beautiful indeed, but for sure, Calvin Kattar hits like a truck. One shot from Calvin can often stifle such a flow, if not end the fight altogether. But for Max Holloway, one of the reasons as to why Max Holloway was able to do this, just completely trust his skills, trust himself, it's because he doesn't hard spar a lot.
You didn't spar. I mean, is that part of it? I mean, you think that's a big part of why you're looking so good in there?
Like a good legend, Marshawn Lit said, save y'all chickens. Save y'all chickens. Right here. You guys only get one brain. Save it. You guys don't need to do it. You sparred enough, you train enough, we know how to punch somebody, you know how to slip a punch, why are you gonna take unnecessary damage? And everybody who tell me I should be training, no. I've been training, baby. When I play games, leave me alone. I wanna play video games. So yeah, please protect your guys' head. If I got to tell an uppercomer coming, be smart, figure out a way of taking less damage. I don't know, I feel good, you know, knock on wood. Hopefully not anytime soon. And not sparring is definitely helping that, I think.
He didn't in his last two camps, which Daniel Cormier went off on. Let's now consider this. A lot of fighters lose their brain bank in the gym. They get concussed, and the same shots they would have been able to take, even when they recover, just the next time they get hit, they're more prone to a bad concussion. Max Holloway, on the other hand, with his philosophy of you only get one brain, this is something he wants to tell up-and-coming fighters. He was able to go in there, take a big shot here and there. Calvin hits like a truck, and he took a few of those shots here and there, came back like nothing had ever happened. He did not lose his momentum. He was not afraid of getting hit for the same reason a bird is not afraid of a branch breaking. He could always trust his wings to fly. If something bad were to go wrong, if that branch were to break, he could always trust his wings to fly. Max Holloway, he could trust his reactions would ensure that he would not get hit. And just in case he did, because of course mistakes do happen, he had plenty left in that bank to ensure he could continue moving forward, continue playing his game. A lot of other fighters would take a crack clean from Calvin Kattar. Then if they're not concussed, they're instantly shocked into respect. Their flow gets stifled from its full fruition. Max Holloway, on the other hand, at some point, he looked more and more like Canelo Alvarez as the fight progressed. He was just focused on his game regardless of what happened. He was confident in his game regardless. Thus, the Blessed Express was a train that kept going. How then? How did Max Holloway throw down such a beautiful technical demonstration? If he doesn't even hard spar, how did he do this? There are two things that instantly come to mind. Max Holloway stated in the past that when he saw someone do something, he himself always felt that he could do it too. That if they can do it, he can do it too. If you can, why can't I? It is as Confucius had said, those who think they can and those who think they can't are both usually right. By believing he can, he places greater expectations on himself in order to reach that goal. But also, Max Holloway had said, now he straight up said this, he said he schooled Jose Aldo not by studying footage, but by playing his character in a video game. He played Jose Aldo to figure him out in the UFC game. He even said he learned how to fight by playing the UFC game, copying the moves he saw, and just practicing them.
I didn't have a striking coach. I never had a striking coach for, Dustin, then we went on 4, and then we went on 2. So whatever the 1, 5, 6, 7. My first 7 fights in the UFC. You really want to know what I did?
Yeah.
You know the UFC game? I would use Renan Barão and Jose Aldo, and I would do stuff with them. I'd be like, oh yeah, this works in the game. So my friend at the time, Dustin Kimura, he would kind of hold mitts for me, and I'd be like, look, I tried this in the game and it was working. Let's try it. And we did it. I figured it out from freaking UFC, the regular UFC game, the first ever UFC game.
What?
Yeah. I was like, bro, we'll call this the Renan, we'll call this the Aldo. Like, there's a bunch of things that I learned from the game that we put in real life. You know, it was super fun. It was super cool. You know, just a cool way to. And when people are saying that, you know, you're just playing games, I was like, no, I'm not. I'm actually getting better in fighting. So I wasn't lying. And I beat Aldo because I knew him like the back of my hand because I was playing a video game with him. So
he doesn't even like to watch fights. That's just so crazy to me.
And people ask me, what do you think of the fight? I didn't watch it because I didn't watch it. You know what I mean? I don't want to give you an answer, but at the end of the day, that's just what it is. You know how much people come to my, like, sometimes I stream during fights. Like, I'm playing games, video games. I'm streaming. They're like, you're not watching the fights. I'm like, I don't know. You see my video game playing right now, bro? Like, I'm playing video games right now, my man. I just don't like it.
This guy's a man at the top who doesn't even like watching them. This leads me to believe that Max Holloway has a great imagination, that through the game, he's theory crafting ways to approach the game, thus come out victorious, and he's serious about this. How is this possible? How does any of this make sense? Joe Rogan had said it the best, quoting Miyamoto Musashi. There is a very famous Miyamoto Musashi quote that goes as, once you understand the way broadly, you can see it in all things. The idea is, once you understand what excellence is all about, whether it's in painting or carpentry or martial arts, that you see how excellence manifests itself in any discipline. I think that all the different things that I do enhance all the other things that I do. That's just it. This is why Demetrius Johnson was so many levels ahead of his competition. Confirmed gaming can increase hand-eye coordination, and Conor McGregor stating that he'd play Call of Duty every night after training.
You know, I was actually obsessed with this game. Call of Duty Black Ops, when that came out, I'd be literally up all night. So then I'd go to sleep and then she'd come back and then off I'd go again. I'd go training for 2 hours and then I'd come back and I'd be playing the game all night until 6:30 AM.
Perhaps this is an influence as to why he's the most precise striker mixed martial arts has ever seen. Stipe Miocic and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson are avid gamers. Tony Ferguson, but not just in this way. Vasily Lomachenko's father, Anatoly Lomachenko, made Loma play games as well. Justin Gaethje's father made him play mini-games all the time, as he was a child growing up, to help develop his reaction time. Overall, if you are not delusional, if you have a firm foundation set, if you have an understanding in one field, you can bring a field from another world to expand your awareness, your sensibility and understanding in a different one. It is said that the warrior's way is twofold, of the pen and sword. Miyamoto Musashi, Leonardo da Vinci, the furthest reaching mind in human history who demonstrated an otherworldly tier of excellence across so many different domains. He had said, learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. Leonardo da Vinci, that's just it. Max knows how to fight. He trains fighting. He's experienced fighting consistently, thus through his simulations, his games, he projects himself as the game character and further builds his feel for fighting through that world, through simulation. It's like visual training. That's why he fights like there are no physics. He could ramp up and react on a hair relentlessly, but anyone else who fought like that would have gotten exhausted. He was literally playing a video game versus Calvin Kattar. He was switching between characters, copying their techniques and understandings, all the while trash talking, making reads and reacting like a high-level gamer on a Twitch stream. That's what this was. When you know one world, you can learn more about it through another world, so as long as you can feel the common ground where both worlds connect. In this case, it was fight IQ, making reads, reacting, switching between techniques and styles. He was doing so many things in there, like he was pushing buttons on a controller. And at some point, it's like he forgot there were other rules and limitations to the physical body, the physics of this world. And he just kept going ham for 5 rounds. He didn't stop. He just kept going, even saying, "Why am I so tired?" He was in absolute flow, playing his game like a video game. That is just insane. He isn't the fast twitch type. He isn't a power puncher. It's just Max has very solid compact form, strong technique. It's not the most powerful technique, but it's effective, efficient technique. He was beating the heavy-handed Kattar to the punch consistently, shelling him up, overwhelming him, pulling his face out of shots then recommitting, always placing himself just within reach, if not slightly outside of, like Canelo Alvarez. He was a high work rate, combination puncher with remarkable countering ability. As he places the pocket right in front of you, it truly was a beautiful thing to watch. He was a completely different fighter in there. He is every time. He's always learning and growing. His mind is healthy. His healthy mind just has a bank of technical understandings, constantly developing due to his can-do attitude. That is just insane. It is as Mark Twain had said, there's nothing like biting off more than you can chew, and then chewing it anyways. Max believes in himself, armed with a healthy mind and a can-do attitude. He puts a lot on himself, and from there, he just does it. That's what I believe makes Max Holloway so very special. He keeps his mind healthy and just believes that he can do it too. He can do it too. There are no limitations to such a man. The only limitations that exist are the ones that I put on myself. That's the kind of man the Blessed Express is. You even see him taunting like a Diaz. He just has this eternal student mentality, learning from everyone, thus with his ability to develop skills through a field in another simulated world, video games, imagination with tangible understanding. From there, we begin to see a glint of why Max is so special. Max Holloway is a man who is blessed. He possesses a temperament exclusive to the greats. He's just a man who sees. He sees how worlds connect, and he uses that bridge to further refine himself, minus much of the damage. This is why he has a chin. This is why he can take a crack from Calvin Kattar, clean, this heavy-handed power puncher, then from there continue forward with his game. Thus, from there, every time he goes in, he's healthy, confident, armed with a bundle of reads and reactions, skills, formed Miyamoto Musashi style from another world. Joe Rogan is absolutely right. Just get good at something, get a feel for something, and use that proficiency as a compass for other things you learn and develop. Have your understandings work as a catalyst to each other, because everything is connected. Those who collect knowledge without ever putting it into action, they are the ones who suffer the worst fate of all. They never truly get to understand what all of their knowledge actually meant. They never get a feel for life. They have all this knowing, but they never get the message. To be able to live in a time where these simple, foundational understandings can be in play right in front of us. Truly, it's not just Max who's blessed. We are. Until next time, peace.